Hello and welcome to a very special Through the Ages video. We're celebrating Black History Month. A bit late, coming to the end of the month, but still want to make sure we celebrate it here on the channel. And we're going to celebrate the 5 men in WWE 2K25 who have held a world level championship in WWE specifically. And the reason why I've set the parameters exactly like that is just so there's actually a few games that share all of the competitors. There's 5 of them, and there's 3 games with all 5. So it's only going to be a 3-match Through the Ages, but I think with them being 5-way matches, they might take a little while anyway, so I think it should still be a good length video. We've got Big E, former WWE champion, and now his former New Day brethren, Kofi Kingston, also former WWE champion. Coming to the ring, so 2/3 of the New Day are going to be in this. And yeah, so there's a few other people I considered including, and I want to give shout outs to them. Obviously, Farouk is in this game, Ron Simmons, and was obviously the first ever Black WCW champion, and that was like incredibly historic. But you know what, I'll go through who I considered first, and I'll give you the general issue with including all the people. I considered Thru, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I considered... there was someone else. I'm sure there was someone else we eliminated from the potential. Or maybe there wasn't. Maybe it was them too. Because with Elimination Chamber coming up this weekend, I kind of really wanted there to be 6. But I couldn't think of a fair way of keeping in Farouk but not R-Truth, or R-Truth but not Farouk. I guess Farouk's is technically part of WWE history now, and R-Truth's isn't now because they own WCW. But anyway, speaking of WCW, former 5-time WCW champion, and importantly for qualifying for this video, 1-time World Heavyweight Champion in WWE as King Booker T. But yeah, so the reason why I couldn't include both of them is because 7-way matches are really tricky. And one of them was basically, each of them kind of created a different issue. If I included R-Truth, it was an Elimination Chamber, but I'd have to do about 11 of them, and the video would be like 3 or 4 hours long, which is just preposterous, right? And if it was Farouk, it's kind of the opposite problem, where the crossover, particularly between, I think it was like Farouk and Mark Henry, is really bad. Like, I think we would have only had 2 Elimination Chamber matches, and I didn't think that was really worth it either. I know this one's only 3, but this is kind of like the best middle ground I've got. So yeah, that's why they're not in this video, despite obviously their important place in WWE history, because I wanted to make an actual bit of a video of it, you know. Now, guess who? Very over-indulgent entrance. Just ridiculous, isn't it? Just ridiculous. But yeah, I thought this was a really good idea. I do think it's a bit of a shame I couldn't find a way to theme around Elimination Chamber with that coming up this weekend as well. But had to make what I thought was the best decision for the video, so we're doing 5 ways. Oh, and the other thing is, these 5 guys have been in plenty more games, but 5-way matches only came back in WWE 2K19. It's a lot more recent than I thought it was. So we can't do a 5-way before then. Yes, it's The Rock, in case you didn't know. Obviously, former WWE champion, former WCW world champion in WWE when the Invasion storyline was in full force. Has his little Brahma Bull belt with him. His People's Championship. But I don't think he was ever World Heavyweight Champion once they'd been... Like, I think he was already basically gone once they were unified and then resplit. But yeah, obviously The Rock. Oh, there was a possibility of only including WWE champions, which would have just been Big E, Kofi, and The Rock. But again, that would have been like 11 matches. And triple threats can take a while. That video would have been stupidly long. Let me know in the comments if you want to see any of these ideas. I'm happy to do them. I wanted to get a video out in Black History Month to celebrate the Black history of wrestling. And this was like the best compromise I could think of. But if anyone wants to see like any of the other variants, or any other videos for that matter, let me know in the comments. Always happy to take suggestions. Rock's entrance is about 25 years long. Don't worry though, the next 2 games we're not even going to have entrances on. So, even though this entrance is a bit indulgent, a bit, he says, we will start motoring through once the action starts. Once the action starts, it don't stop. You could say it's total non-stop action, and therefore I probably should have included R-Truth. To be honest, I should be including R-Truth. I stand by, R-Truth should have been WWE Champion at some point in his career. I stand by that. And to be honest, they kind of scuffed Farouk quite a bit, right? Like, I don't know if in the Attitude Era, which was like his main prominent time, if he would have ever been high up enough in the pecking order to be world champion. But he could have had like a short reign, I think. I mean, everyone had short reigns in the Attitude Era, right? So he could have had like a short reign or two. Had they built him up instead of bringing him in and giving him silly gladiator gear, and then just keeping him in the mid card forever. What is going on with that belt strap? Oh my god, what's going on with both the belt straps? Yeah, I think they could have definitely given Farouk a world title reign, and this could be an Elimination Chamber video. Although again, Farouk messes up the synergy with different games. I think he's only in 2 with Mark Henry. Anyway, Mark Henry, world's strongest man. Of course, former world heavyweight champion on his Hall of Pain run. So he is the 5th and final entrant into this video. So of course, fatal 5-ways, no disqualification, no countouts. Pinfalls and or submissions do have to occur inside the ring. There's only going to be 3. So the odds that we get a clear winner are quite low, to be honest, in this one. But this video is more about celebrating the history than determining the absolute best anyway. But yeah, there's a reasonably good chance that 3 different people win these matches and we don't get a clear winner. But if anyone can win the first 2, they just win the video, right? So yeah, this first one, very important. If you don't win this first one, you're in a really tricky situation to win the video. New Day ganging up on Mark Henry on the far side as Booker T and The Rock. Now, they've done a battle or 2 over the years. Oh my god, but Big E comes in with the overhead belly to belly. Some Booker T, and now goes after Mark Henry. Oh, who's not impressed? But then Booker T tries to attack Henry, and he's got surprising speed at times. Belly to back suplex by Big E, and now look at Kofi going after E. Of course, New Day relations not what they once were, so not the biggest surprise ever to see them turn on each other. But you'd think strategically, and also with this being like matching gear, Kofi with Big E, you'd think there'd be a reasonable shot they'd work together, but nope. Mark Henry and Booker T on the far side, headbutt, and now look at The Rock taking down Big E there as Kofi rolls to the outside. Now Mark Henry standing on Booker T. That's so much weight pressing down on the torso, on the chest, on the sternum, on the stomach of Booker T. Now Mark Henry and The Rock, former teammates in the Nation of Domination. Kofi Kingston's got a ladder out, and something happened between him and Big E. I was watching and talking about The Rock and Mark Henry, unfortunately. Now Kofi up to the top. Big E's got a table out. We're going TLC in this one. The fans want tables. A bit late to be chanting for that. You've already got a table. Now Big E taking the fight to Mark Henry. The Rock turns his attention to Booker T. Mark Henry snake eyes in the corner. Headlock to Booker T. Oh, and a punch to the face. And now New Day going at it again. Uh-oh. Overhead belly to belly, and Mark Henry breaks up a pin by The Rock on Booker T. Of course, like I said, I think I said, 1 fall to a finish. This is not elimination. This is the first person who can pick up a pin or submission gets the win, which I think makes the match slightly longer because everyone's breaking up each other's pins. Flapjack to Kofi by Booker T. And now Mark Henry going to dismantle the announce table as Booker T takes down The Rock with, I believe it was a backbreaker, and then gets taken down with a short arm clothesline by Big E. And now going for the pin. But yeah, like I say, if it was elimination, people could be eliminated quite freely. But because it's 1 fall to a finish, everyone's breaking up everyone else's. Oh, Mark Henry brought the sledgehammer in, but got drop toe holded. Yeah, everyone's breaking up each other's pins, so it's really hard to actually win the match. So each match might take a little while. Mark Henry took down Booker T. Kofi escaped the fireman's carry by The Rock. Slams him into the corner. Kick into the midsection. And kicked to the midsection by Henry now. And got Kofi up in a powerbomb position. Kofi says absolutely not. No thank you. And now springboard and misses somehow. Misses a lying down target. A massive lying down target at that. But now taking the fight to The Rock. Only Kofi and The Rock in the ring. Float over DDT. That's old school Rocky Maivia. I think he did that as psychological warfare. Or didn't that was just what came to him at the time. Now Big E and Booker T doing battle on the outside. Oh, and Big E slammed onto the apron. Now SOS by Kofi Kingston. Henry's got that sledgehammer again. Oh, but Kofi beats him to the punch, or rather kick, with the Trouble in Paradise, and then Mark Henry's got his foot stuck in a trash can. 1, 2. Oh, Henry kicks out. No one was there to break it up. Big E was not there in time. DDT to The Rock by Kofi Kingston, but Mark Henry kicks out. And now Kofi going for the pin off that DDT. Mark Henry breaks it up. Now all 5 men back in the ring. Oh, by the way, I may have mentioned this. I mentioned all the men who are not in this match. The world level women's champions that are black that can't be included because this is the first game in a long, long time with intergender wrestling, so it just wouldn't be possible in previous games to actually do the matches. So that excludes the likes of Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi, as well, who I also considered. Oh, big splash by Big E to Mark Henry, who is also big. And now look at this, roll up by Booker T, but Big E's there to break it up and save his New Day teammate Kofi Kingston, although that's not why he broke it up. Broke it up to save his own chances, right? Roll up by Kofi. And The Rock breaks it up. You've got to imagine The Rock's our favourite in this one. Oh, big ending. But they've all been former world champions. Oh, but Kofi breaks up the pin. Stops Big E picking up the win. I mean, The Rock's got the most experience at, like, the world champion level in WWE. World's strongest slam, but how do you deny Mark Henry as a favourite? And Booker T breaks up the pin. And then, like, Booker T himself, 5-time WCW champion, 1-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Uh-oh. Mark Henry's got Booker T up. Uh-oh, what's he got in mind here? Oh, alley-oop snake eyes to Booker T. Kofi can't scoop up Big E for the body slam there. And now Big E scoops up Kofi instead. He's like, I'll show you how it's done. And drops him throat first across that top rope. Mark Henry launches Booker T. The straps come down on Big E, but Mark Henry ain't nobody got time for that. Takes him out with the clothesline. But Big E fights straight back and then gets taken down onto the steps by Kofi. The steps that had just been slid into the ring by The Rock. Big E landed face first on the corner of them. Nasty stuff. Clothesline to Kingston by The Rock. Big E. Oh my God, look at the strength of Big E. Oh my God, the trash can hit The Rock in the head as well, but The Rock rakes the eyes of Big E to escape the gorilla press. That's the one. I was trying to think what animal it's named after. Booker T takes Mark Henry out of the ring. Oh my God, this is hard to commentate. Big splash from Big E. Trouble in Paradise to Booker T by Kofi Kingston. Goes to the pin, but Big E is in the ring. But he didn't break it up. He's gone after The Rock. But Booker T kicked out anyway. Was Big E letting Kofi Kingston win there? Mark Henry was scampering to get back into the ring there to try and break it up. But Oh my goodness, sledgehammer to Kofi by Big E, and then throws it javelin style at Booker T and knocks him right out of the ring. Sharpshooter on the outside by The Rock on Mark Henry, but you can't win by submission out there, and Mark Henry powers out anyway. Now, elbow drop off the middle rope to Kofi Kingston by Big E. He looked like he was letting Kofi Kingston win a minute ago. Now he's beating the hell out of him. Look at this, deadlifts him up. Power bomb, Liger bomb, sitting down. Batista bomb, one might say. And a knee to the face. Big E dominating Kofi Kingston in there at the moment. Booker T taking the fight to The Rock on the outside. Maybe thinking Spinneroonie. No, doesn't go for it, in fact. Punches to the face of Kofi Kingston by Big E. And that has been a relentless attack. Finally, he gets his revenge for the New Day turning on him. All those months ago. Over a year ago, in fact. Now Big E up on the middle rope. Oh, Big E and Mark Henry double teaming Kofi. But then Big E hits Mark Henry with the double axe handle. Now The Rock's brought a new table? The same table back into the ring? I don't know. Rock bottom to Big E. Going for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, Booker T just about there to break it up. And Kofi Kingston is dancing around on the outside, playing to the crowd. I don't think he was going to break that up. And now, another rock bottom to Big E. And Mark Henry is very much busy in the corner, but Big E straight back to his feet. Look at that Vader bomb by Mark Henry. Oh, Kofi takes down Henry, then stops Big E attacking him with the steps. Anything works at that point, but no. Uh-oh. Big ending. Going for the pin. 1, 2, and Booker T intercepted The Rock, trying to break up the pin, but Kofi Kingston kicked out. Why is no one trying to win this match? People are refusing to break up pins left and right, but Kofi Kingston kicks out. And now Big E with the table to Mark Henry. And now only Big E and The Rock remain. He's got him up. Oh, I think he was thinking big ending, but gets a DDT for his troubles. Great counter by The Rock. Oh my goodness. Now, Mark Henry going for the bear hug on Booker T. The Rock turned his attention away, but Booker T going to fight out of it as The Rock takes the fight to Kofi Kingston. Again, not breaking up the pin or submission attempt. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Oh, Big E, snake eyes to The Rock in the corner. Stairs go flying. Oh, Mark Henry just basically allows Kofi Kingston to bounce off him and takes him out. Great takedown by Big E. He's got the sledgehammer. The Rock has felt a sledgehammer or two in his time through his rivalry with Triple H. But now, is this going to be enough? No, The Rock kicks out at 2. No one there to save him that time. Kofi Kingston only just got back to his feet. Big E inadvertently ducking that thrown kendo stick from Kofi Kingston, but doesn't dodge the springboard dropkick. Off the ropes. Oh, counter by The Rock. Kick to the midsection. Oh, flying clothesline dodged by Kofi. But now turns his attention to Big E. They're going at it, the former New Day partners. No, says Big E. I'm too big for you. And now Big E and The Rock going to team up. Oh, kind of a Russian leg sweep Rock bottom combination there. Now Big E going for the pin. And The Rock's like, no, we're doing a double team. We're not suddenly best friends, a tag team. Oh my God, full Nelson slam to The Rock. The height that Mark Henry just elevated the final boss to is ridiculous. And now we're left with just Mark Henry and Big E. World's strongest slam. And he goes for the pin. There's no one there to save Big E. Booker T just about stirring. And he does, in fact, break up the pin just in time. I'm going to do 3 of these matches. Good grief. Knife edge chop by Booker T to Mark Henry in the corner. All 4 men who are conscious. Well, Big E's not exactly conscious. He's out on his feet. Outside the ring at the moment. Mark Henry just coming to inside the ring now. And he's going to join him. He's bringing a sledgehammer. Because Mark Henry's not dangerous enough as he is. He's got a weapon as well. Now The Rock going for the sharpshooter on the outside for the second time. This time on Booker T. Oh my God. Mark Henry just javelined the sledgehammer right through the face of Big E. Good grief. Now, Mark Henry trying to send Kofi back into the ring. But, oh, Big E trying to get the sneak shot on him. And Mark Henry hits him first and hits him hard and then drops the elbow. Now The Rock spotting the opportunity to go after Kofi Kingston inside the ring. But Kofi's recuperated. Big right. Springboard drop kick. Mark Henry's got Booker T up. Oh, and slams him down on the outside. Meanwhile, in the ring, New Day indeed. Boom drop. And now goes for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, look at the wherewithal of Mark Henry to get back into the ring and break up that pin before a count of 3. Didn't look like The Rock was kicking out, to be perfectly honest. Maybe he wasn't. But now 4 of the 5 men back in the ring. Only Big E to join the fray. Incredible strength by Booker T with a Samoan drop to Mark Henry. That is no mean feat. But now, maybe used the last of his energy and gets rock bottomed by the People's Champion. But Kofi's there, breaks it up. I told you these matches would go a while because of the one fall to a finish nature. Oh, Big E knocked The Rock into the Trouble in Paradise there. Now Booker T back to his feet. Big E has The Rock up. Big ending. Going for the pin. I think Booker T is right there. So is Mark Henry to break it up. And Kofi Kingston's back on his feet as well. Yeah, that was a bad time to go for a pin there, Big E. Everyone was there to stop you. Drop kick from Kofi to the back of the head of Booker T. Now The Rock. Atomic drop to Kofi Kingston. Big E, I think, just did a big splash on Mark Henry. Uh-oh. Rock sends Kofi into the corner. And a big ending to The Rock. Is this it? Is this the win? On the table, on the upside-down table. No, The Rock kicks out. Booker T was outside the ring, realised he could not get back in time. Oh, Harlem sidekick to The Rock. On the outside. Oh, and a backflip through into a DDT by Kofi Kingston. Going for the pin. Big E spotted it, though. Kofi thought Big E wasn't looking because he had his attention on The Rock. Now The Rock's got a chair. Don't even know who got that chair out. Don't know how long that chair's been out or anything. Kofi Kingston up to the top turnbuckle. Rock takes down Big E. Booker T is going to go and join the fray on that side of the ring. Clubbing blow by Kofi Kingston. He's going for the pin. No one's noticed. Booker T going for a powerbomb or something. The Rock counters. Oh, Mark Henry kicks out. The Rock would not have got there in time. Far from it. Oh my God, The Rock just dodged the Trouble in Paradise and the referee ate it. Oh my God. Brutal. We need a new referee. That referee is out. Meanwhile, Mark Henry hits The Rock with the table, sets it up. Oh, sends Kofi Kingston into it. What's Mark Henry got in mind for Kofi? Oh, we'll never know because Big E saves his former teammate with a chair to the back of Mark Henry. But then starts attacking Kofi Kingston himself. World's strongest slam to The Rock. Goes for the pin. Kofi going for the SOS. The referee's recovered. Booker T breaks up the pin. Kofi goes for the pin on Big E. Booker T breaks that one up as well. Booker T keeping this match alive. Oh, big right by Booker T. And a clothesline to follow it up. But Kofi's got The Rock up against that table. Bookend! He's going for the pin. Kofi's busy suplexing The Rock through a table. And Booker T wins. And The Rock very much loses. Falls to the outside, unconscious after going through that table. And there's a big win for Booker T. Let's get on to the next game. Alright. We are now all the way back to WWE 2K20 because Mark Henry had a spell in AEW, was not in 2K22, 23 or 24. So we've gone back a fair few games to find another Mark Henry game. Oh, and we're off. Mark Henry, of course, losing the last match courtesy of the bookend to Booker T, and they're going at it now. But Kofi takes the fight. Oh, Samoan drop to Big E by The Rock on the far side of the ring. Going for an RKO, it looked like there. And Booker T sent to the outside. Mark Henry wants revenge on Booker T, it would seem. Taking the fight to the outside, but Kofi's going to join them, which will probably just irritate the world's strongest man, to be honest. Yeah, in fact, he swats away Kofi and just goes after Booker T, ignoring Kofi completely. Now Kofi sends Booker T across the ring to the invisible wall near the ring steps. And if you keep getting involved, Kofi, at some point, Mark Henry's going to get annoyed. Meanwhile, in the ring, big back body drop by Big E, using all of his strength. Well, probably not all of it, actually. Probably quite a small fraction, because he's a very, very strong man. Oh, back elbow by The Rock. Now sends Big E off the ropes. And Mark Henry sends Booker T back into the ring, trying to take the fight to Booker T, but get it away from Kofi Kingston. He's just getting on his nerves. Belly to back suplex. And look at Kofi getting involved again. Mark Henry just wants revenge, Kofi. Go focus on The Rock. Go and team up with Big E or something. Anyway, Big E takes the fight with The Rock to the outside now. Backbreaker to Booker T, who rolls out. And now, yeah, now Mark Henry is going to turn his attention to Kofi. You want my attention, do you? Let's see if you still want it. Oh! But Kofi punching out of the powerbomb situation there. And he takes Mark Henry down with a clothesline. Meanwhile, The Rock and Big E fighting on the outside. And Booker T sitting there, dazed and confused. I'd say out on his feet, but he's more out on his seat, right? He's sat up. Anyway, The Rock sent back into the ring. And here comes Big E. Oh, back elbow by Mark Henry. Flips Kofi over with the snapmare. Going for the pin. Booker T's back in the ring with the chair. Rock breaks up the pin. I don't think there was much danger there, though. Russian leg sweep by Booker T to Big E. Oh, Booker sent into Mark Henry by The Rock. That's not going to help his temper much. Belly to back suplex. But Mark Henry really focused on Kofi Kingston at this point. You want to get in my way of my plans, do you? Okay, I'll turn my attention to you. Rock stomping away at Booker in the corner, but Kofi kicks out at Mark Henry. Sends him across. Breaks up the pin. I think Booker had already kicked out, to be perfectly honest. And now, Kofi Kingston's got a chair. Oh, and he swings and misses. I think he was swinging at The Rock there, but Rock sends Booker T to the outside. And Kofi gets an atomic drop for his troubles. And now, all 5 men outside the ring. It's not false count anywhere. Same rules in each game. No disqualification, no count out. 1 fall to a finish. Bailey to belly. Mark Henry, a big fan of everyone's favourite wrestler. Bailey, of course, there. And Booker T back in the ring. Mark Henry following him. He really wants some revenge, but Booker T baited him in there. And Big E looking really confident, taking the fight to The Rock. Booker T set up a chair in the corner of the ring there, wedged in between the ropes. And he sends Mark Henry headfirst into it. This revenge plan of Mark Henry's is not going great. Not going to lie. Now Kofi Kingston back in here. No, seemingly no interest in fighting Booker T here. Wanting to help him in the fight against Mark Henry. I think he wanted the boom drop there, but they're kind of fighting over who gets to fight Mark Henry at this point. Oh, hook kick. And an elbow drop as well. Now The Rock looking under the ring. He's got a kendo stick. Oh, and just swings it down on Big E. Painful looking situation for Big E there. Oh, but he catches the kendo stick, takes it off him. Meanwhile, in the ring, powerbomb to Kofi Kingston, and Mark Henry dips out. He's going to go and grab a weapon from under the ring. Meanwhile, Booker T is going to try and pin Kofi. If he wins here, he wins the whole video. There's only 1 more match. You can't win 2 matches in 1 match. Fun fact. Now, off the ropes. Oh, double foot stomp dodged by Booker T. But now, the sleeper hold by Kofi Kingston on Booker T. The Rock seems to be letting it slide, but Mark Henry comes in and breaks it up. Snapmare takeover. Kick to the back. Knee to the face of Mark Henry. Kofi Kingston cooking with gas here. Rock really focused on Big E for this entire match. I don't know what the beef there is. It was Kofi put you through a table at the end of the last match. Rock. Samoan drop by Mark Henry. I'm feeling supremely confident here. Big E and The Rock fight into the timekeeper's area now. Now, what's Mark Henry got in mind for Kofi Kingston here? Oh, he's just choking him across that middle rope. And now, bring in the former WWE Champion, Mr. Kofi Mania, up to his feet just to slam him back down. Oh, and then a crawling headbutt. Shout out to Junkyard Dog. Going for the pin. Oh, and Booker T breaks it up. And that's not going to please Mark Henry. He's already pretty miffed with you there, Booker. Uh-oh. And Booker's now in trouble. Wait, what's Mark Henry doing here? He's got him up on... Oh, he's doing a submission across the back. Like a torture rack. But in almost a razor's edge position. Very unique from Mark Henry. Making full use of all that strength he's got. And Big E came in and made the save. Oh, but then Mark Henry tips The Rock to the outside. And does Mark Henry think it was The Rock who stopped him winning that match? He might well do, you know. He did have his back to the situation, I think, at the time. But now The Rock and Mark Henry going at it. Meanwhile, back in the ring, Booker T, kick to the midsection. Axe kick, scissors kick. Goes to the pin on Kofi Kingston, The Rock. Oh, I think he would have got there, but Kofi actually kicked out at 2 anyway. But Booker T dangerously close there to winning 2 in a row and winning the whole video. We'd still do the final match, by the way, if that happens. But Booker T would be assured of the victory. Neck breaker to Mark Henry by The Rock. And now stalking Henry, but Booker T in the ring with a chair. Kofi Kingston in with a sledgehammer. And he hits The Rock. I think The Rock was thinking rock bottom, but Booker T takes down Mark Henry with the chair to the back. Kofi with the sledgehammer to The Rock. Breaking up that whole situation. Monkey flip. Now Booker T's got a bat. And now Big E's back in. Big left to Booker T. Neck breaker to Mark Henry by Kofi Kingston. And now Big E's got Booker up and power bombs him. And now just the New Day remain in the ring, both playing to the crowd. And wow, Big E, no interest in fighting Kofi in this one. Goes straight past him and after Booker T. Kofi Kingston says, I'll fight you though. Like, this is every man for himself. We're both former WWE champions. Oh, shoved off by Big E and just going for a pin after just shoving him down. Be very surprised if that's enough, and it's not. And then The Rock's there to make sure and also takes out the referee. Now The Rock got Kofi in that front face lock. Referee's still down. We've had 2 ref bumps in 2 matches. World's strongest slam by Mark Henry. Goes for the pin, but there's no referee to count the pin. And that could have been Mark Henry's revenge on Booker T. But 'twas not to be, thanks to The Rock taking out the ref. Now, Fireman's Carry takeover. Great counter by Booker T there. And a kick to the face takes down Mark Henry. Oof, knife edge chop. Rock's got a ladder. Hook kick. Now picks up Henry. Through underneath again, but this time Russian leg sweep instead of the kick. The Rock has got something in mind with this ladder and table situation, but I'm not sure entirely what he's doing. Harlem sidekick there. Oh, and then hits Booker in the face with the table. Now goes for the pin. No one in the ring to save Booker T. The New Day in. Booker T kicks out before the New Day could break up the pin. Now Kofi hits Big E with the drop kick, but kind of the deflected hit on The Rock did more damage, took him down. Now these 4 men fighting in the ring. New Day indeed. Rock sent to the outside but hangs on the apron. Kofi's got a bat. Oh, and he hits Big E in the head with it. My goodness. And he's going ham with that bat, taking everyone down. And now going to pin his New Day teammate. 2. Oh, Big E kicks out. Mark Henry was there trying to break it up. I think he would have just got there in time. But we'll never know because Big E successfully kicked out. Oh, he ducks the Trouble in Paradise. But then, because he ducked his head, now he's up in that backbreaker position again. Kofi sends Booker T over the top rope. He clings on, holds on the apron. Now Kofi going to follow it up. Suplexing him back into the ring. And onto the ladder. Oh my goodness, look at how Booker T landed. Absolutely brutal. Oh, and Kofi kicks Mark Henry and then lands a leg drop off the top on Booker T on the ladder. What an insane move by Kofi Kingston. And European uppercuts Booker T, but now Mark Henry back in the ring. And these 3 have kind of been the story of this match. Rock and Big E have been doing their own thing for a lot of it. But Mark Henry wanting revenge on Booker T and Kofi Kingston getting in the way has really been a story of this match. And Rock didn't look like he was breaking up that pin, but Kofi kicks out nonetheless. Of the Nation of Domination reunited in the form of The Rock and Mark Henry, taking on the New Day to even the balance against the New Day, and Booker T just all on his own, sent to the outside. Mark Henry just wants to hurt Booker T. He's not even bothered about winning this match. The Rock with the pin on the ladder. Oh, maybe Mark Henry is bothered about winning the match. He was there to break it up, but Kofi kicked out anyway. Oh my goodness, overhead belly to belly by Big E. Kick to the midsection. DDT to Kofi by The Rock. Uh-oh. Oh, almost rock bottom-esque by Big E. That one was definitely a rock bottom by The Rock to Kofi Kingston. But Big E going for the pin. Rock takes down Kofi. And Big E gets the pin on Booker T, who won the previous match. And now I guess we go on to the next match. But that's a fall for Big E. Okay, guys. Confession. It seems I didn't do my research very well. And there's actually only 2 games with all 5 of these men on it. So we're having a decider. And we're going to have Mark Henry be the referee for the decider between the 2 winners so far. Because had I realised my mistake before we finished that 2K20 match, I could have told you about it and ended the video in some other way. But I literally was just like, right, next match. And then there is no next match. So we're going to decide between the 2, but we're going to have all 5 men involved in the match nonetheless. And I think this is the way to do it. And maybe I should have actually not made Mark Henry the referee, seeing as he has an issue with one of the men and not with the other. But hey-ho, makes it interesting, right? The alternative was even less realistic, I think. Anyway, Booker T being accompanied to the ring by The Rock won the first match by pinning Mark Henry. So yeah, the alternative, in my opinion, was to make The Rock the referee because he'd be more impartial. However, he is... That would have meant that Mark Henry would have been in the corner of Booker T, which feels even less realistic. So I figured just putting him in a neutral capacity as referee was probably the best bet. The other option was to have a normal referee and put Mark Henry in Big E's corner. And have 2 managers on one side and 1 on the other. But I figured this way is interesting enough. So yeah, The Rock not taking center stage, not taking the spotlight from Booker T. Booker T, of course, pinned Mark Henry after a bookend, which is a lot like a rock bottom. So I don't mind The Rock being on Booker T's team here, actually. They share a finisher. Why not? Why not? Let's say that's their link. And then, making their way to the ring, Bootios in hand, frisbeeing the boxes into the crowd. Pancakes on a plate in Kofi's hand, frisbeeing them into the crowd. I have a Bootios box, like in real life. And my Bootios t-shirt came in it. It's great. But yeah. The New Day reunited. Kofi Kingston going to be in the corner of Big E for this decider. And I'm really glad they've actually got their tag team entrance and are doing it here. Instead of just like a Big E entrance with Kofi wandering around behind him. This is a really nice touch. Okay. So, all 5 men involved in this final match, but it's Booker T with The Rock in his corner against Big E with Kofi Kingston in his corner. And Mark Henry is the referee. Which is terrifying, especially for... Why does Big E have big wool on the back of his jacket? Does anyone know the story of that? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is particularly bad for Booker T, because him and Mark Henry got that beef. But here we go, Booker T. Oh, off to the hot start. Look at that, the pump kick straight away. And Mark Henry, not messing about, counting the pin. Being fair so far, but Big E kicks out at 2. Booker T stays on offense. And Big E not got out the gates yet in this match, being stomped on by Booker T here. And now Kofi Kingston got up on the apron, but then thought better of it and jumped back down. Maybe too early to be interfering just yet. And Mark Henry in position again for the pin off the knee drop, just a 1 count. Mark Henry so far, so fair. So far, so fair. But Booker T, this match is anything but fair. He has absolutely dominated proceedings. Not a single offensive move by Big E as yet in this match. Big E, oh, gets out of the armbar quickly, and there's an offensive maneuver. 2, in fact. Punches to the face. And can Big E finally build some momentum? Counters the Irish whip, does Booker T. Oh, but look at this. The leg sweep and goes for the pin. 1. No, Booker T kicks out. And now Big E gonna try and finally build. Oh, takes the arm. Yeah, we've come back to 2K25. I figured this was the best way to end this, because it's got the special referee mode back in it, and I thought it'd be fun to do a special referee match. So my apologies. If you can think of a fairer way to celebrate Black History Month in a Through the Ages, I'll let me know in the comments, and as long as it's like pretty soon after this video comes up, I'll entertain it as an option for like next week. Oh, 2 count. Like a fairer way. I really did think that these 5 were all in 3 games and it was going to be fine. Oh, catches the Harlem sidekick, does Big E there. Takes down Booker T. In this match, slowly but surely becoming a little bit more even. Big E building momentum now after it was all Booker T for the first minute or 2. Splash by Big E. Hooks the leg. Mark Henry in position. 1, 2. Oh, Booker T kicks out. And Booker T slides out under the bottom rope onto the apron. Hoisting himself up, using the ropes to try and steady himself. Oh, and then drops Big E throat first across that top rope. Great strategy by the 5-time WCW champion. Up to the top rope. Oh, but Big E moves out the way of that elbow drop off the top. Sends Booker T off the ropes, ducks down underneath, leapfrog up and over. Oh, gonna belly to belly him. No, Booker T hooks the leg and then takes him down with a counter. Great reversal by Booker T, but Big E fighting back into it, and he's got Booker T up. Big ending. Now he's going to go for the pin. 1, 2. Rock's busy arguing with fans at ringside. Wasn't able to interfere, but Booker T kicked out anyway. And now, Big E with this half a camel clutch, but Booker T manages to escape, scurries out of the side, off the ropes. Spinebuster. Excuse me. Whew. Knife edge chop. Countered by Big E. Fights out of the corner. Scoops up Booker T. Takes the knee. Chop block. Not a bad way to tackle someone much bigger and stronger than you. But Booker T going to hook the leg now. 1, 2. And the world's strongest ref gets just a 2. Oh, now, this is how he won the match over Mark Henry, the first match. 1, will Mark Henry count? Oh, Big E kicked out. It looked like Mark Henry was willing to slap them out a 3rd time, though. Maybe he's letting bygones be bygones here. Only time will tell, but so far, so fair for Mark Henry. Now going for another pin. 1, 2. Oh, another kick out by Big E. It's been a very back and forth match. It was all Booker T, then Big E had a bout of dominance, and now it's back in the favour of Booker T. Oh, going after that leg again after the chop block, and now doing that, like trying to hyperextend the knee, and now just straight up punching Big E in the face is Booker T. Leg sweep. Great counter by Big E, and now both men to the outside. And a splash on the outside. And Mark Henry starts to count both men out. We don't want a double count out, Mark. Yeah, tell him to get back in. We don't want a double count. Booker T has managed to take control on the outside. If this finishes in a double count out, I'm not doing another decider, just so you know. We will just call it a tie. But Booker T in control now with that Harlem sidekick. Sends Big E back into the ring. Heading up to the top rope. Now, daring Big E to get to his feet. Missile drop kick off the top. That's a throwback right to the WCW days. 1, 2. Oh, and he almost won. But Big E kicks out again. knee drop. It's been very much all Booker T in the last couple of minutes of this match now. And he's, oh, going for the bookend again. That's 2. Surely a second one is enough. And it is. Booker T wins this Black History Month Through the Ages with a bookend, poetically counted by Mark Henry. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new here for more simulated gameplay content. But for now, all I have left to say is thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been PokÉBEZA, you've been amazing, and I'll see you next time.